Let's do it, man.
Let's do it. Brutal.
It's an exciting moment. Going to Odessa, which is roughly 11 hours, I believe. Odessa, Ukraine. So first impressions were these wide, beautiful boulevards with trees. So the trees were just creating this canopy of shade as we drove into the center of the city. Everything here feels a little bit more grand. You can feel that it was once a very important place. And so you feel it in the architecture, you feel it in the way the city was laid out. And I was told it's actually a lot of French and Italians who were the architects behind a lot of this construction. A lot of cool detail in the buildings. So there were, ivy and grapevines growing up the buildings. Almost a Mediterranean feel in a way, but with a Ukrainian twist. The challenge always is finding some cool locals, because it's one thing for me to talk about the place when I don't know much about it or rip off some basic historical facts. It's another thing to find cool people that help me bring out to this place to the camera. Here with Dennis. And Dennis, you said you're going to show me one of the coolest things in the city right now.
Yes, we're going to Kanatna Doroga.
Get it, Denny. Do you think this thing gets regularly maintained? Quite a cultural experience. This is from Soviet times, right?
Yes.
We're going right into the Black Sea. That's dope. Dude, that thing's cool. One of the big surprises with the Black Sea is it's not black. And okay, people in this part of the world obviously know that. From what I've seen, it's got sometimes like a deep blue or a turquoise color to it. It's set up for this beach culture and this whole party vibe on the beach. And there's this massive walkway, and it's very open and expansive. There are cats everywhere here. It's cat culture. But what were you saying? So there are a lot of cats here because why?
Because back in the day, they brought cats here to fight rats that were coming here from the ships.
Okay, let's check this out, man.
Every yard.
I see cats, and I see a very cool courtyard. Oh, and it smells like cat shit.
Yeah, pretty common.
It's a lot here, actually, I've noticed.
Thank you.
That is beautiful, bro. Is this normal?
Yeah.
Like a courtyard like this?
Typical. Super typical for them.
Super typical. Do you know why it was built like this? Just to have this peaceful internal area?
It's a long history of living together, communication.
Huh. Super quiet in here. Other than that bus, but it gets really still.
You can hear people washing dishes. Someone's hanging their clothes to dry. And in the evening you can hear people chatting from the windows. And you can smell the fish is being fried. Super cool.
There's a lot of color here. So I see color in the buildings, I see color in the people. People dress with more color. I feel it's a bit more animated. It has a bit more of that Mediterranean feel, that, you know, that say Italian style, where it's a little more expressive.
Все, Америка, привет. Сан-Франциско, привет.
And outwardly emotional. The life is on the streets. It's at a pace much slower than the capital, Kyiv. It's very chill here. Things move very melodically. And it's one of those places you can just, you know, envelop yourself and like go into the streets and really get a lot of pleasure just walking these long, beautiful boulevards. It's a port city, and its history, you know, at one time it was a very big port and it was very cosmopolitan. So it has that air about it. Port cities always have that, like true port cities always have that feel of adventure in them.
Ukrainian captains on the boats here get 10,000 a month, you think?
Yeah, I know. So you can like make 60 grand a year, or even more if you don't have a family and you just, you know, you want to spend 12 months a year in seas. It's a long way to become a captain. Spain is kind of wild west of Europe because it's kind of a European country, but you got shit like parking's very bad, like laws don't really work, but you got so much freedom here, especially if you're an entrepreneur. Yeah, like the stuff is not that regulated that much. You can make your first money here very easy, but you gotta deal with corruption and stuff.
I feel like a strong juxtaposition between old and new. So you can see it definitely in the architecture. A lot of these buildings are falling apart a bit. A lot need to be restored. And then you see these new businesses that are very modern looking. And they could be in the same building. Like one building can be, you know, it can be falling apart at the top and look condemned. And then the bottom is this brand new business that's well lit and well designed.
Cobblestones way under this asphalt.
Yeah, and most of Odessa is actually covered with cobblestone, but most of the cobblestone is under the asphalt for some reason. But this cobblestone is super famous. It's actually Italian lava cobblestone.
Ah, that's right. They look like in Naples.
Yep.
Looks like in Naples.
The whole city is actually built out of the shell rock. This is shell rock. It was made out of shells by millions of years and at the sea. So when they started to build the city, it was the easiest way to just dig underground and get out the shell rock and build the city. So now we have a huge lane of catacombs under the city that you can explore. It's like the biggest in Europe.
You can tell the city had its best days behind it. I don't know when that was. Sometime in the 19th century, I believe, is when it was like at its most booming time. So it's not at its height right now, but you see this young energy sort of like poking through. It seems like there's some sort of renaissance going on, and there are people creating here, and you can feel that on the streets.
It's nice to see that the city is changing. The people, their mentality is also changing. And
How so? What do you mean by that?
Like what you see right now, like around this park, it's
Right.
pretty much made by a younger generation.
Right.
A younger generation that wanted to change. This new mentality, and I see how it's doing positive things.
And these cops coming at us, are they corrupt or no?
These guys, they're in the academy, so they're not corrupt yet. But faith. I don't think
Faith.
a lot of people have enough faith that it's possible. I mean, there's still some kind of like a stereotypical belief that there's no future, Ukraine is falling apart, we need to, you know, move to the United States, for example.
Right.
And they don't know much about it. they don't know a lot about states.
Maybe your life's better there, maybe it's not.
Yeah,
But you're not going to meet, there's one thing for sure. For certain, you're not going to meet Brad Pitt on Hollywood Boulevard. Like so many
sure.
people think here, like it's just like the movies.
Yeah.
Right?
When this whole political situation happened with Russia, and when there was when after a war, people here, like the whole mentality, the whole psychology of people kind of got shooken up, and the good amount of people had some kind of like a awakening moment inside of them, and that's where I see the change. People, I see this in their eyes, and I'm very proud of it. There's a saying: tough times create strong people create good times create weak people create poor times.
At night, this gets busy, right?
Yes, it gets busy on the weekends, it gets busy at night, or when the weather is good. Every night here there's a movie theater, like an open sky movie theater.
It's delicious.
Cool. Can I ask you a question?
And it's a very big portion, yes.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
I know very beautiful place to eat tasty food. It's alive.
Oh, little promotion.
Yes, it's the best place in Odessa. И вам спасибо. Хорошего дня.
Очень вкусно.
Я очень рада, что вам понравилось.
Я тоже.
Well, Odessa was influenced a lot by Jewish culture. Still a lot of people come from Israel. A lot of people from Odessa actually migrated to New York.
Right.
We got a small Odessa in New York.
I've only been here a couple days, so the food I've tasted has been fantastic. A lot of seafood, garlic, parsley, thyme, charred vegetables. I love that, like the charred vegetables that have been grilled and they have that black char on them.
So, Serge, you were telling me what about this place?
This place was a movie theater back in the beginning of 20th century. Then it was church. Then it was a rock club, and now it's a city food market.
What just happened there, bro?
We went through a secret passage, underground passage, from the city food market into the Georgian cafe. I really like those little secret passages.
Do you like it?
Love it. It's amazing.
You should go inside. Inside the building, it's just perfect.
It's very interesting in Odessa when you round a corner near a university and then all of a sudden it turns very Asian, very Indian, very Middle Eastern.
80% probably in medical university are not Ukrainians. It's mostly people from Arab countries or African countries.
Why?
Because the education, the medical education is super cool, super good, and it's super cheap. So we produce doctors for third countries so they can go back and help people there.
It's got a interesting imbalance where you see, you know, such opulence and then you see decay and people just getting by. Usually when you have such a range of economic disparity, there's crime in the mix, and I don't feel it's dangerous here on the streets. I really don't. Not at once walking around at night or whenever have I ever felt like, oh, this is a sketchy place, someone's gonna come at me with a knife in a dark alley. I'm sure it happens. But it really, overall, and I've been told, it's a safe city to be in.
rad. Appreciate your wisdom, your cool words, and look, you guys tell the story, the people I run into, and it's like I've ran into some very cool people that have just come out of nowhere and like told their stories or the story of their country, and it's pretty sweet, man. We're gonna blow that up, all right?
It's special. It's a special place. It's a bit of the Mediterranean and a bit of Slavic culture mixed in one pot. It's all over the place, to be honest, which is cool. That's what makes it interesting. I like places like this. All right, that's my story.